as you can see by my title, it's How to Build a Campfire. And it's fall time now. What is better than having a campfire with your friends, your bae, whatever. But yeah, it's a fun thing to do, but there's some hazardous things that can come with it. Say you're by the fire, you didn't build it properly, you're throwing stuff in it that you know you shouldn't be, it explodes in your face. Burning flesh, wounds, hospital visit, nobody wants that. So I'm going to teach you how to build a proper campfire. Alright, so the first thing you want to do, you want to establish a proper ground for this. You want to make sure it's somewhere where you have permission. You want to make sure it's somewhere in the clear, somewhere vacant, no timber around so no trees can catch on fire. You want to make sure it's not in a drought season. Starting a fire in a drought season is obviously not a good thing to do. You can catch everything on fire. So like this picture right here, you just want to find a deserted area where you can have your fire. The next thing to do, you're going to gather your materials. I have some of them with me. Other ones are a little bit bigger to bring. What I like to do for my fires, I take corn husks, dry leaves, put those at the bottom. Twigs, dry twigs, everything has to be dry. I also use those. Then I'll take bigger logs and I'll stack them depending on the way you want your fire. If you put them at a point, it's good for cooking. If you stack them where it's crisscross, it's really good for keeping you warm, just having a nice campfire. Also, logs. You need logs, but since I can't bring those in, I have a little campfire that we can all gather around later and sing our campfire song. Alright, so you need your twigs, you need your dry corn husks, leaves, whatever. You also need rocks. Rocks are very important because it's going to keep your fire from spreading. Obviously, I can't bring in big rocks like these, so I brought little pebbles. So that's going to go around our fire. Also, you're going to need a lighter or matches. I prefer a lighter because I don't like getting that close to fires and using a match, especially if you have lighter fluid. Which lighter fluid is also optional. Oops, can you go back, please? That's optional. It's kind of more risque, but it works. Get your fire going pretty fast. Next. Alright, keeping your fire burning. Obviously, it's fire. It's going to burn. When stuff burns, it goes away. Gets rid of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take more of your corn husks. You're going to need these by you. You're going to need more leaves, twigs, just to add to your fire to keep it burning. You can also add more logs, but that's more towards the end, depending on how long you want to have your fire. You're also going to want to blow at the base of it, because it's going to give your fire oxygen, which is going to keep it burning. Fire needs oxygen. You do that till you see your fire improve. Alright, keeping it under control and safe. Safety is a big thing with fire. Fire is no joke. You don't want to mess around with fire, as I told you before. Your campfire, you're going to want to keep it at least 3 feet tall, 3 feet wide. You want to go any bigger. You can go smaller, but it's not really going to keep you warm or give you any benefits. So you're going to want to do that. Also, don't have a fire in an enclosed space. You never want to do that. There's going to be smoke. People have allergies to that. It can suffocate you because there's not enough oxygen. Be aware of your surroundings too. Like I said, you don't want to be by trees. You don't want to be by your neighbor's house where they have little kids where it can come and play and touch the fire. That's not good either. Also, like I said before, don't ever start a fire outdoors if the conditions aren't right. You need moisture in the air. Obviously, it's not raining, but you need moisture in the air. It can't be dry. Never leave your fire unattended. Small pets, children, anything, they can come when you're not looking. Okay. Alright, so a controlled fire versus a controlled fire. As you can see in this picture, this man, who happens to be my dad, we started this fire last year. I didn't, he did. This is where I was talking about where you use a tad bit too much of your lighter fluid. Just a tad. But he lit this fire, and it ended up lighting our trees on fire. And our trees are pretty tall, so you don't even want to know. He ended up lighting a squirrel's nest on fire. Me and him got a free firefighter, as you can see right here. He had this one, I had another one, and we stood there for about an hour. All our neighbors came out and started watching. If he would have walked away, we have a little kid next door who tried to run into that fire. My dad stopped her. That's why you never leave your fire. All right, this is a controlled fire. This man knows what he's doing. He's got his rock set up. He's got it perfect for cooking. He's watching his fire. He's not leaving it. That's a good fire. All right, having a campfire can be fun, but if you leave your campfire, there's some hazards too. You can't just leave your campfire going overnight. If you're going to leave, you need to make sure you put out your campfire. So how you do that is you're going to take a bucket of water, but you have to make sure that your fire has died down. You haven't been putting any of your corn husks, leaves, twigs, anything like that in it, and you're going to make sure that there's no fire actually coming up. If there's a glow of your ember, which is like part of your log, that's okay. You're going to want to dump your water on that, making sure you're standing back so if some heat comes up, it can make steam. You don't want to get that on your face because it can burn you. So after you do that, you're going to move some logs around too, just to make sure everything's out. After you don't hear any more popping noises, any squeaking, anything like that of the fire cooling down, you're going to want to hold your hand above it first, see if it's warm. If it's warm, give it some time still. Do that again a couple minutes later. If it's cooler, you're going to pat it, see if it's okay. If it is, you're good to go. All right, end is near. We're almost done. For review, all right, this is a little picture. You build your fire, you light your fire, cook some marshmallows, have fun with the bae. Gotta wait till your fire dies down, put it out properly. Then,